All right, wake up. Welcome back after the winter apocalypse. Did y'all have a good weekend? Extra day off? Plenty of icicles. My son was breaking off the icicles, playing with them. He's 3 years old, so maybe y'all didn't do that. Well, did you take your quiz Friday? Because if not, we got to get you to take that quiz from Friday. Monday, write no school. You can write this if you want, whatever. And then find the quadratic inverse. So remember, f of x is really y. Switch x and y, right? Do these steps sound familiar? X is now here. Y, y is now here. Looking up here. Hey. So what do I get rid of first? Do I get rid of the plus 7, the squared, or the minus 2? What do I get rid of first? What do you think? Do I get rid of the 7, the squared, or the minus 2? All right, the loner, minus 2. What's the opposite of minus 2? Plus 2. Plus 2. X plus 2 equals y plus 7 in parentheses squared. Now, do y'all remember how to get rid of the, or what do we get rid of first here? Do we get rid of the 7 or the squared? Squared, because it's got parentheses. The opposite of square is square root. And you're square rooting this whole x plus 2. That. All right, so it's cancels out. And then how do I get rid of the plus 7? Minus 7. Minus 7 goes after this. So now you have f inverse of x equals square root of x plus 2. Then it stops. Minus 7. The minus 7 is not underneath the square root. It is after the square root. Okay. Now, look, we're doing we're going to do some notes on quadratic. We call it the crash course because it's like a review of all the quadratic stuff. A review of all the quadratic stuff that we got to know. All right, is everyone good on the warm up? Ooh. All right, go. Got to be like not just right, but mid right.
Not, yeah, like those guys that will fund the balancing point for everything.
It's probably possible, but also could be dangerous. All right, here we go. Notes quadratic functions crash course. Here's an example. Fill in the following table given f of x equals x squared. All right, I don't know where I cut this off, so let's start over here. No, not this. Okay, I don't know where I got cut off, but check it out. Number 1, fill in the following table given f of x equals x squared. So y'all know how to do this in Desmos? F of x equals x squared. You can type it in using the squared button, right? And then how do I get a table? Y'all know to hit the gear, hit the table. Let's fill that in. -2 gives me 4. Go away. There we go. -1 gives me 1. 0 gives me 0. 1 gives me 1. 2 gives me 4. I get it all from the table. So now you can graph those points. And that's going to give you what is called a parabola. Can y'all say parabola? Parabola. All right. See how it makes kind of a U shape? So I want U. Doot, doot, I want you to draw a parabola. How does this graph different from the linear graphs we saw previously? Okay. How is this different than a straight line? It curves. It only goes up, has a minimum point. These are some things you could write. Do, 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 do. Who? Now I'm gonna have to get that, you know. All right. Well, it's not staying on here, which is cool. Not. There you go. All right. It curves. It only goes up. Yes. All right. I don't know why the text in here doesn't make any sense. It only goes up. It has a minimum. Okay, we're done. Does everyone get that first one? Now, what we're going to do is do the following. X squared minus 4. So we're going to start over. X squared minus 4. Hit the gear. Get the table. And now we're going to fill out this table. Sound good? So let's fill out this table down here. Negative 2 gives me 0. Negative 1 gives me negative 3. 0 gives me negative 4. 1, negative 3, 2, 0. So from the table I got in Desmos, I got these 5 points. They make a curve, so you're going to do your best to draw yourself a parabola, sorry. And then that's it. So, what did that minus 4 do? It moved it down 4. Nice. Write that down, then we'll flip it over. Halfway done. All right, we good? All right, next one. The previous few problems are 2 examples of quadratic. A quadratic function is a function of this standard form, ax squared plus bx equals c, or plus c, I should say. And a, b, and c are constants. A quadratic function must have an x squared. Specifically, that squared has to be on the variable, okay? So it has to have x squared for it to be quadratic, okay? So what are the key properties? The blank of a quadratic function is the point at which the graph changes directions. Okay, it's called the vertex. I'm going to draw a little picture. If it's going down, the vertex is at the top. It's called a maximum. Max. If it looks like a smile and it has a bottom point, that's called a minimum. So if it looks like a hill, that has a max. If it looks like a U, it has a minimum. Okay, the blank is a point where the quadratic functions intersect the y-axis. The y-axis is the y-intercept. Okay, it's in the name. Y-axis, intercept is where it touches the y-axis. Okay, so now what about where it crosses the x-axis? Well, that's the x-intercept. And you should have learned 3 other names for an x-intercept, right? Here, We said it this year. You should have heard it in Algebra 1 or Slim or whatever. Another word for x-intercept is zero, solution, or root. Zeros, solutions, roots, and x-intercepts are the same thing. Where does it cross the x-axis? Okay. When graphed, quadratic functions form the shape of a parabola. Where's the vertex of this graph? Okay. So now we're going to answer these questions, and then we're going to be done. Pretty much, right? Okay. Hold up, hold up. So where is the vertex? So where does it change directions? It's going down, 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 down. Stop. Up, 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 up. So it's this change of direction, okay, is at 0, comma, -9. 0, -9, and that's a minimum at the bottom. Okay, what's the y-intercept? Where does it cross this y-axis? Well, it happens to be at the same point. 0, -9. It's not always going to be the same as the vertex, but this time it is. Okay, what's the x-intercepts, or the zeros or roots? Or solutions? Where are these points? So here's x. Where does it cross? Right here. And right here. So we got -3, comma 0, +3, comma 0. Those are my x-intercepts. Where does it cross the x-axis? Now, we've gone over this from Unit 2, but we'll say it again. The domain, if it goes forever to the left and forever to the right, that's all real numbers, the weird R. Negative infinity and positive infinity, all real numbers, weird R, okay? But the range stops going down, 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 down at -9. Stops there, and it only goes up or greater than that -9. So the range is the y. If it goes up, then it's greater than or equal to the y value, -9. Could you use that information, especially since we've gone over it last semester, to do an assignment based on these notes? So let's see it. Here we go.